Thank you so much for being here as we celebrate Pakistan's 60th Independence Day. So moving the program forward, I would like to call Hamza Adil to bring and hoist the US flag. Hamza Adil, please join me in welcoming him. I would like everyone to please stand and join us in singing the US national anthem. Please call Safwan Khan to bring and hoist the Pakistan flag. Safwan Khan. We'll now sing the Pakistani national song. Pakistani American Culture Center was founded in 2007 and it is the first Pakistani American Culture Center here in California. It has been in Milpitas for most of its life and we are happy about that. It's an honor to host today's flag ceremony here actually. So I would like to call Mr. Muhammad Asghar Abu Bakr, who is the co-founder and current president of Pakistani American Culture Center. I request him to welcome the, yes.
Thank you, Asma. Mayors, estimates, city council members, other community leaders and friends. Good evening, Assalamu alaikum. On behalf of Pakistani American community, I'd like to welcome and thank all for attending this Pakistani flag hosting ceremony in city of Milpitas. I would especially like to thank Mayor Estevez and City of Milpitas Council for their hospitality and accommodation to the Pakistani American community. This is the second year we are doing this. It was exactly the same setup last year also. As Asma said, Pakistani American Culture Center, we fondly call it PACC, is a non-profit 501c3 organization. It is 8 years old now, and its mission is to promote Pakistani culture, history and languages in US. We have about 1,800 members and there are more on the email list. We collaborate with Pakistani and non-Pakistani organizations in conducting many programs and many events in there. Like last year, this year actually, we did a major program in city of Sunnyvale, Baylands Park. It's a kite flying festival. This is our marquee event. And we had close to 3,000 people come there for the afternoon. And it was I think, maybe the biggest event we have done. We do our regular classes here in our office in Milpitas, poetry program, music program, and then we do 2 to 4 kind of major events which are, this office is too small to conduct, so we do it outside, like this kite flying festival. So either we do it in a restaurant or some other community hall, bigger community hall. Let me just briefly give you history of Pakistan and its independence. Before 1947, Pakistan was a British colony, like India and many other countries around the world, actually in Asia and other places also. It got its independence on August 14th, 1947. It was a British colony, as I said. Muhammad Ali Jinnah was the kind of main person who struggled for that with all of the current Pakistanis around, and he became the first Governor General of Pakistan. US government recognized Pakistan on August 15, 1947. British government also recognized in August 15, 1947. US and Pakistan has very long history and long relationship. 1950, early 50s, Pakistan and US signed a treaty of defense in there, and Pakistan and US have been collaborating on many activities, including like Afghan war, Russian war, and then again in after 9/11. In a way, Pakistan is very similar to California. It has ocean, it has deserts, it has central agricultural land, very fertile agricultural land. Pakistan's main export or main production is agriculture. And then there are mountains. And if you have heard of it, Pakistan, K2 is the second highest mountain in the world after Everest. It's about 28,000 feet high. Now, Pakistani Americans started coming here in this country. Actually, first wave come in right after World War I, around World War I. And then the second wave started coming in 1960. Most of the second wave came here like me, we came for the higher education. Then we didn't go back, we just settled here. Because the life was too good here. But California has a problem these days. So California has a lot of, for last 4 or 5 years, drought. So I was thinking, what can I do to pitch in there? So I had long hair before. So I cut it short, so that my shower is shorter and I use less water there. Current estimate of Pakistani American in US is about 700,000 people. In Bay Area it's about 30,000 people. And the next speaker will talk about Pakistani Americans in the technology world, because for the last 20-30 years we are I am a technology, I will work for Intel. The next speaker, he worked for Intel also. So he'll talk about that. So he'll talk more about what Pakistani Americans are doing in the technology in the Bay Area. Again, thank you very much. Long live US, long live Pakistan.
Thank you, Asra Bhai, for giving us a brief overview of PSCC and a glimpse of Pakistan history. And I like the part where you cut your hair short. I don't know if I can say that about myself, so I'll try other ways.
Don't try.
Thank you, Asma. Ms. Esteves, the city council members, other community leaders, and friends. Good evening. Assalamu alaikum. On behalf of Pakistani American community, I'd like to welcome and thank all for attending this Pakistani flag hosting ceremony in city of Milpitas. I would especially like to thank Mayor Esteves and City of Milpitas Council for their hospitality and accommodation to the Pakistani American community. This is the second year we are doing this. It was exactly the same setup last year also. As Asma said, Pakistani American Culture Center, we fondly call it PSCC, is a non-profit 501c3 organization. It is 8 years old now, and its mission is to promote Pakistani culture, history and languages in US. We have about 1,800 members and there are more on the email list. We collaborate with Pakistani and non-Pakistani organizations in conducting many programs and many events in there. Like last year, this year actually, we did a major program in city of Sunnyvale, Baylands Park. It's a kite flying festival. This is our marquee event. And we had close to 3,000 people come there for the afternoon. And it was, I think, maybe the biggest event we have done. We do our regular classes here in our office in Milpitas, poetry program, music program, and then we do 2 to 4 kind of major events which are, this office is too small to conduct, so we do it outside, like this kite flying festival. So either we do it in a restaurant or some other community hall, bigger community hall. Let me just briefly give you history of Pakistan and its independence. Before 1947, Pakistan was a British colony, like India and many other countries around the world, actually in Asia and other places also. It got its independence on August 14, 1947. It was a British colony, as I said. Muhammad Ali Jinnah was the kind of main person who struggled for that with all of the current Pakistanis around, and he became the first Governor General of Pakistan. US government recognized Pakistan on August 15, 1947. British government also recognized in August 15, 1947. US and Pakistan has very long history and long relationship. 1950, early 50s, Pakistan and US signed a treaty of defense in there, and Pakistan and US have been collaborating on many activities, including like Afghan war, Russian war, and then again in after 9/11. In a way, Pakistan is very similar to California. It has ocean, it has deserts, it has central agricultural land, very fertile agricultural land. Pakistan's main export or main production is agriculture. And then there are mountains. And if you have heard of it, Pakistan, K2 is the second highest mountain in the world after Everest. It's about 28,000 feet high. Now, Pakistani Americans started coming here in this country. Actually, first wave come in right after World War I, around World War I. And then the second wave started coming in 1960. Most of the second wave came here like me, we came for the higher education. Then we didn't go back, we just settled here. Because the life was too good here. But California has a problem these days. So California has a lot of, for last 4 or 5 years, drought. So I was thinking, what can I do to pitch in there. So I had long hair before. So I cut it short so that my shower is shorter and I use less water there. Current estimate of Pakistani American in US is about 700,000 people. In Bay Area, it's about 30,000 people. And the next speaker will talk about Pakistani Americans in the technology world, because for the last 20, 30 years, I am a technology, I will work for Intel. The next speaker, he worked for Intel also. So he'll talk about that. So he'll talk more about what Pakistani Americans are doing in the technology in the Bay Area. Again, thank you very much. Long live US, long live Pakistan.
Thank you, Asghar Bhai, for giving us a brief overview of PSCC and a glimpse of Pakistan history. And I like the part where you cut your hair short. I don't know if I can say that about myself, so I'll try other ways.
Don't try.
One of them, Mr. Riaz Haq, who has been in the Silicon Valley for more than 10 years, and he has a deep grasp of technology scene. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Riaz Haq to say a few words about Pakistani technologists in this area. Mr. Riaz Haq.
Distinguished guests and fellow Pakistani Americans, Assalamu alaikum. Let me start with a personal story. I have been here in this valley for 35 years. But when I first arrived, I went to work for Intel. There were very few Pakistanis. In fact, there were very few non-whites in the valley. I was one of the designers of an Intel processor called the 80386, 32-bit processor. That was the first 32-bit processor that was used in the IBM PC. And there was a picture taken by PC Magazine that was published in the magazine with the designers of the 386. There were 7 of us. Out of the 7, there were 6 whites, and I was the only non-white person in that group. There's been dramatic changes since that time. And if you look at the kind of people that we have, a number of Pakistanis have founded companies that have gone on to become public. They've created new technologies. There are several names that come to mind. There's Align Technology. It was the first company to use 3D imaging, 3D computer modeling in orthodontics. Then there is another company called Chegg. Chegg is a textbook, online textbook rental and exchange company. It's been created, founded by a Pakistani, now a public company, trades on public stock exchanges. Carium is another one. It's a semiconductor company that makes security processors. Then there is FireEye, that's the more recent one that actually works on cloud security. And these are just a few names that come to mind. These are public companies. In addition, there are probably dozens, if not hundreds, of companies that have been founded by Pakistanis that have actually been acquired by other larger companies for their technology. So Pakistanis have been making a huge contribution. One of the ways I look at it, Asghar Abu Bakr, who just spoke prior to my coming here, Asghar was one of the few Pakistanis in the valley when I came to this area. He also worked for Intel, so we both were at the same company. And there was probably a few others. Javed Abbal was one of the people that worked with us. One of the things that I'm hoping that Pakistan will offer him, and some of the Pakistani Americans along with others, would become thought leaders in not only developing the technology to create the opportunity, but also in dealing with the challenges that this particular technology creates. So thank you very much for listening to me. Before I end, I'm going to say Pakistan. I want you all to say very loudly, Zindabad. I say Pakistan! Zindabad! Pakistan! Zindabad! Thank you.
Say what it means in English.
Yeah, Pakistan Zindabad means long live Pakistan.
Thank you so much, Mr. Riaz it was very enlightening and very interesting at the same time. Please join me in welcoming Mayor of Milpitas, Mr. Jose Estevez, to say a few words.
Thank you. I will say a few words. But anyway, first and foremost, I want to congratulate all of you for being here, because it's about right that you take pride of your history, especially independence of Pakistani. And rightfully so, because you are basically associated with your roots, with your origin, and you should be proud of. I want to congratulate the Pakistan American Cultural Center based in Milpitas for leading this event and for doing many things for Pakistan and US, and getting the community together and keeping the pride, the culture, and participation of all of you right here in this place. What's most important is if we say Independence Day, it means a lot. But for me, Independence Day is important because it's associated with freedom. Great words like democracy, justice, human rights. In the spirit of Independence Day, congratulations to you all. Let's keep the great spirit that we have inherited from the many heroes that we have in the fought for independence. So with that said, I want to call my colleagues from the Milpitas City Council, who's with me this afternoon, Council Member Marcia Greeley, and maybe we have said and we have a proclamation appreciating and recognizing the Independence Day that we will present to you on behalf of the city of Milpitas. So, Council Member Greeley.
Good evening. I appreciate being invited again to this event. I remember it fondly from last year. When I walked away last year from it, one of the things that stood out in my mind and what I could hear again is the families and the children. And I admire what you're giving your families and children is you're giving them a sense of culture, a sense of pride of where they come from. And in the best of worlds, they also get to live here in the United States and hopefully if not in Milpitas. But I really think that you are doing a great job with your families, and I'll walk away from this evening and really feel good about the children that are involved here today. So on behalf of the mayor, this is the City of Milpitas proclamation. It says, whereas today's events marks the 67th Independence Day for Pakistan and is a national holiday in Pakistan, commemorating the day when Pakistan achieved independence and was declared a sovereign nation following the end of the British rule in 1947. And whereas Pakistan came into existence as a result of the Pakistani movement that aimed for creation of an independent Muslim state by partition of the northwestern region of the Indian subcontinent, and was led by All Indian Muslim League under the leadership of Muhammad Ali Jinnah. And whereas Pakistani American Cultural Center, located in the city of Milpitas, is celebrating this event by hosting the Pakistani flag ceremony at the city of Milpitas for the general public. And whereas there are hundreds of Pakistani Americans residing and are doing business in the city of Milpitas, and thousands in the greater Bay Area.
So therefore, as mayor of Milpitas, I'm proclaiming August 14, 2015 as the Pakistan's 67th Independence Day anniversary day within our city, and hereby urge our residents, particularly young people, to recognize the importance of this day. So again, congratulations to all of you. I want to present this to the Pakistani American Cultural Center. But again, thanks all. Long live Pakistan, long live the United States. Assalamu alaikum.
Long live America, the land of opportunity we chose to make our home. And I will say America and you guys say Zindabad. America? Zindabad! America? Zindabad! Pakistan? Zindabad! Pakistan? Zindabad! Right. This was not part of the plan. I stole the moment.
Thank you so much, Mr. Estevez and Ms. Gillies. Now, any Pakistani function is usually not complete without some music. So I would like to call upon Mr. Javed Ijaz to sing a famous Pakistani patriotic song. Mr. Javed Ijaz.